When I first started Taekwondo, and this is actually true, when I first started Taekwondo, it was the tradition. Master Fujimura did not do it at our school, but it was the tradition at the other schools that you line up by rank. And, well, now it's rank and then age. So when you line up for everything, you line up by rank and then it's by age. If you're the same rank, it's by age. When I started, it was line up by rank, gender, and then age. And the women would have to give way to the men, and the men always went first. And yeah, it didn't happen in my school because Master Fujimura was an amazing man. But it did happen. I saw it a lot. I saw a lot of girls being pushed back, and they, you know, for this. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. I'm really glad it's grown into a very, very unisex sport. It really has. And the martial art as well. I got to tell you, there was a lot of things that come back to you on that. And I'm so glad that it's different for women now. I'm so glad. Because I was the only woman in the class. You know, I would take classes and no other women were even there. Who was I going to spar except the guys? There weren't any. They didn't exist. So now it's different, you know? It's different. We have more women in our school than we do men. We actually have more female students than male students, don't we? Yet. Sure. So yeah, there were a lot of obstacles to overcome and a lot of things, and people would talk down to me. But you have to believe in yourself and you have to step up. And I knew the martial artist I was. I might not be able to match him in the ring, and that's the way it is. There's always somebody better. But you still have to stay focused on what you're doing and what you're becoming, because the next generation coming up, they're watching you. And they want to see what you're doing. They want to see what kind of person you are. They want to see what they could be. And so you have to stay honest and true to yourself and not be fake, because then they'll grow up fake. How old are you?
5.
Oh, I thought you were 4. You turned 5. That's awesome. You ready? We're going to take Iljang in Korean. Sijang.
앞쪽이 왼바퀴, 앞쪽이 모턴쪽이, 앞쪽이 왼바퀴, 앞쪽이 모턴쪽이, 앞구리 쪽이 왼바퀴, 모턴쪽이, 앞쪽이 모턴바퀴, 앞쪽이 모턴쪽이, 앞쪽이 모턴바퀴, 앞쪽이 모턴쪽이, 앞구리 쪽이 왼바퀴, 모턴쪽이, 앞쪽이 오구바퀴, 오구 앞차기, 앞쪽이 모턴쪽이, 앞쪽이 오구바퀴, 오구 앞차기, 앞쪽이 모턴쪽이, 앞구리 쪽이 왼바퀴, 앞구리 쪽이 모턴쪽이, 히어 팝.
Forward. I want to be sure that they have a good handle on life and the person they are and feel good about the things they can do. Everybody that I have ever taught has a talent. It's a matter of finding that talent. That's really up to the teacher. But everybody I've ever taught, there is a talent in there. It doesn't matter if they're good at kicking or good at punching or good at listening or good at discipline. It doesn't matter. There's a talent in there. And once you find it and you start to expound on it, like you really start to let it grow inside the student, they start to believe in themselves. And everything raises up, everything else comes up, it improves. They improve themselves, but possibly nobody ever in their lives ever told them that they had a talent or a skill for that. And once you find it, and I dig deep, some of these kids I dig really deep, but once you find that skill and you start to show them what they're actually capable of, they respond really well, they continue to grow, and turn into amazing kids. Almost, I would say 95% of my students at this school and my other schools are all straight A students, and that's not an exaggeration. They work hard, they're dedicated, they're devoted, they're kind, and they're considerate. We don't allow any bullying, we don't allow anything, no razzing, nothing. We're really, really good to each other, and we're a very close, tight-knit group. Clara is a perfect example of that.
My name is Clara Fightmaster.
She came to us and she was blind, and she couldn't find her spot on the floor. She couldn't do anything. She was blind, and now she's going to the USA National Championship for the second time. She went last year, and she took gold in yellow belt division for women's 18 to 32 yellow belt. She also took gold in the women's para-Olympic forms division.
I'm a student here at Legacy Taekwondo, and I'm also a part of the NKU Taekwondo team. I'm actually the vice president. I guess the best thing to say about myself is I'm actually blind. I have an eye disease called retinal pigmentosa, which is slowly closing off my retinas, but really it's progressed very fastly. I love doing Taekwondo because this is the one place where I feel the most accepted, and I've known that I've grown in my martial arts due to that.
And because she took gold there, she actually qualified for the Pan Am Games in Lima, Peru in 2019. And she will actually be going down to Lima, Peru and competing internationally as a para-athlete. And I'm very proud of her. She's a wonderful person. She's so kind and so awesome. And she comes in, she gives the kids high fives. Well, they have to give her high fives. She just holds her hand up. But she's awesome. She's got a great sense of humor. She loves who she is. She's not embarrassed by who she is. She's not ashamed of anything. She puts it all out there. And I have good kids. They're just good kids, all of them. And I call them my kids. Some of them are adults now. But I call them my kids. I really do.
Demonstrate a signature move of our school. This is something that we teach even our smallest children. We don't teach throws to everybody. We'll wait until they're a certain level before we start teaching hip throw, shoulder throw. But for self-defense, basic self-defense, this move is actually taught to everyone. It's called a nose takedown. It's very easy to do, and it's very effective, and even a small person can do it against a very large person with ease, once you have the technique down. It can be done from anything, but we can do it from a punch or a grab or anything. We're going to actually do it from a cross grab. Okay? Now, he's big, she's little, he's extremely muscular. Okay, but she can't move him, but she can move herself. So the first thing that she's going to do is bend her elbow and step into position with him. The hand will come over, and she'll reach for his nose. I want you to use your shoulders together. He is a little, consider a bit taller than her, but now she will spread her arms apart, which will lock the base of his neck, and he'll collapse. When the base of the neck locks into position and your shoulder is locked, your knees collapse. It's something that happens, you can't stop it. Once you get it locked in, they have to go down no matter how big they are. So do you want to do it full speed? Do you want to drop him? Okay, now we're going to do a basic front choke. If you'll notice, she's smaller than him and her arms aren't as long, so he's going to crush her throat and she can't reach him to do anything about it. What we do in this situation is she turns her body, drops her shoulder. She only has 6 seconds before she's unconscious. And this will lengthen her arm, and then she strikes him in the trachea, crushing the trachea, and then she runs away. And we're going to do it full speed now. Okay, wait. Like I said, she only has 6 seconds to react. And when she drops her shoulder and brings it in, it makes her arm this much longer. Instead of this long, her arm is now this long. That's why we drop the shoulder and turn. Go. Now we're going to do a rear choke. You'll notice that he's actually got her in a blood choke. Once again, the blood choke, 6 seconds, and she's unconscious. He doesn't have to choke her by the throat. He can just cut off the arteries. She is going to actually kick back, striking his knee to disable him a little bit. As she goes back, her bottom will come out, and her weight will come forward, and she will throw him with a finishing blow to the trachea. And now Master Elder will do it full speed.
Taekwondo is a wonderful sport. All martial arts are valid. There is no, you can't say karate's better than Taekwondo or judo's better than, that's all wrong. All martial arts are valid or they wouldn't be a martial art. You have, it's like the old saying, you know, you can have good instructors and bad instructors. But every single martial art, if it's taught by a professional and it's taught by someone who's really trained in the art, a real instructor, a true instructor, not someone who looked it up on the internet, it is a valid martial art and it's a valid form of self-defense. Every single country in the world has its own martial art because every single country in the world has its own military. A martial art is simply a military art. It's what the army teaches its soldiers for hand-to-hand combat. It's what they learn in the military for hand-to-hand combat. And I want to be sure everybody understands that I've heard that before. Oh, you do Taekwondo, well I do Kung Fu and it's so much better. And all martial arts are really very valid. In Israel, they do Krav Maga. Very good martial art, very, very awesome martial art. But if it didn't work, their military, they wouldn't teach it to their military, right? If Krav Maga actually did not work as a martial art, the country would not teach it to its military. They would pick something else like karate or Taekwondo or judo or whatever. It is a martial art because it is valid. And all martial arts are valid forms of self-defense, all of them, equally. One is not better than the other, it's just a matter of who your instructor is. So get a good instructor.